Hi everyone, it's Mindy and welcome to the Gina K Designs 12 Days of Christmas box where I have been sharing inspiration for these last 11 days. Today is the 11th day, so I am going to create with what we have in our package. And I do want to note that this is the 12 Days of Christmas box. This does not mean it is the real 12 Days of Christmas. This is just all in fun of the Christmas box that Gina had released and that I have been enjoying sharing inspiration with. Now let's open up our package to what we have received for day 11, and it is called Glorious Gatefolds. So it has this beautiful intricate detail on these two dies, and I will admit this is not typically my style. I did struggle with coming up with a design to complete a card, but the end result I am really happy with, and it just kind of goes to show that you need to step out of your comfort zone sometimes. Now, I decided that I wanted to die cut this out of some really shiny, pretty cardstock, and you can make your own using the white PolyGlaze sheets from Gina K Designs. I keep mine in this binder and the pocket pages, which I will have linked down below if you're interested in this type of storage system. I also grabbed out some sterling fancy foil. I thought I would try a couple different foils since I had my fuse out. So regardless of which foil I'm using, this is going to be the same process. I have the white PolyGlaze here cut to 4¼ by 5½. Now the side with the PolyGlaze is going to be shiny. It's hard to see on camera, but the PolyGlaze side is shiny. The back is going to be matte. And then the same thing with your foil, your pretty side, of course, and then the flip side is going to be more of a dull color. A good practice to get into is buffing your PolyGlaze or any other type of foiling panel with a Swiffer cloth and also the back of your foil that you plan on using. Then it's always going to be pretty side up. So the PolyGlaze side, the shiny side faces up, you place your foil on top. So it's the pretty side of your foil facing up. I'm placing this in my carrier sheet. I have a setting at 3, but you may find with experimenting that 4 might be a better setting for you. And then I'm going to feed this through my fuse foiling system. Once this runs through, I like to set it off on the side for just a few seconds and let that cool before I remove anything. So while I'm waiting for that to cool off, I'm going to bring in the PolyGlaze for the Floral Friendship. This is the bundle that I plan on using today. It has PolyGlaze for the flowers and sentiments. I decided to do these sentiments to see how this would look. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a few of them all at once because then I am giving myself options. And if I decide to not use them, I can always just put them in the packaging and save them for future card projects. So I trimmed those sentiments out with my large scissors, and then I have a piece of foil cut to that size as well. Always make sure that your foil is covering all of the design or letters, whatever you plan on foiling. I'm going back to my carrier sheet where I can then remove my panel and reveal my foiled panel here from the white PolyGlaze and the sterling fancy foil. So there I created my own metallic cardstock. Now I can go ahead and do the same steps that I did before for the sentiments. So I have the sentiments are facing up and I have the pretty part of my foil facing up. Place that in my carrier sheet and once again run that through the fuse foiling system. Gina K Designs on ThermalWeb have tons of foils that they've collaborated on together. And I have created this swatch chart or this swatch book. I haven't really decided how to store them yet, so they're individual. I do have a video where I have done these. So if you want to see how they're created, I will link that video for you. But it's really handy when you are trying to pick out a color of foil. I also thought I would go ahead and try out this hammered silver. There is a hammered gold available, and I thought it would be just a really neat type of texture with that swirly design. So I'm going to go ahead, do the same steps I did before. I like to use long scissors personally to trim out my foil. You can use a paper trimmer, but I do like the longer bladed scissors when I'm trimming that out. So I trimmed the hammered silver out to fit my PolyGlaze sheet. And then I'm once again going to buff over the top with a Swiffer cloth and then the back of that foil. So this just gives a really, really neat kind of almost antiqued texture to it. And I know these have been out of stock for a long time. Just be sure to put yourself on the notify list so you're notified when those come back in stock. I'm doing the peel and reveal for the sentiments. They turned out absolutely perfect. There are also coordinating dies for that. And then here is that hammered silver. It is really, really neat. I will do the die cutting out of this a little later on. Now that I have things foiled, I can put my fuse foiling system off on the side and work on my image that I plan to use for the front of my card. This image is from that Floral Friendship stamp set, so I'm going to stamp it on layering weight white cardstock. I'm stamping it in Skeleton Leaves ink. I typically will not stamp in black ink right away. I like to stamp in a lighter ink. That way, I don't have to worry about dry time on black ink, and I don't have to worry about contaminating my ink colors, especially if I have some light colors. Now, the key to that is making sure you leave your stamp in place. I'm going to work through my ink blending. I lined up the coordinating stencil to color in this flower set. I started with Blue Sky. Then I'm going to come in with, I think it was a medium orchid and then dark lilac. So just on that one stencil, I do have 3 different colors because I just love doing that. I do have the double grip mat underneath to hold my cardstock and stencil in place. And I'm using the mini and the detail blending brushes from Gina K Designs. So after I finished that first layer, I can just shift the stencil, line it up with the other flower, and then I'm going to use that same color combination throughout all of the areas of the flower. So I think there's about maybe 3 stencils to color in the flower. Of course, you can just use the one color and vary the shades by just depending on how much pressure you're applying, but I love creating this look using at least 2 to 3 colors of ink. So each time I'm applying the color, I'm just applying less or not going out as far. So the tips of the flower should really be that nice, really bright blue. If you're looking for a bright blue, Blue Sky is a great option. And there's just something magical about having that orchid and lilac in there. And the lilac is really what helps kind of pull the image together because it's adding that dark contrast down towards the bottom where the flower is connected to the stem. Now, after I remove my stencil for the flower, I can then work on my leaves. Once my flower is finished, I can work on the stenciling for the leaves. And for that, I am using key lime and medium spruce to add the contrast to that. I love experimenting with different shades of green to create the contrast. If you didn't have a dark green, you could also use a blue, which I will show in another video. Once that was all done, I am placing this back into my Misti in the same position I did originally, and I'm going to go back over the top using a black ink to stamp in all of the lines. Now, if you're a little nervous about this, you could take a piece of acetate, place it over the top of your image, and then stamp on the acetate. That would help check to make sure that everything is lined up properly. This is just a great way to make sure you're getting the true color that you're ink blending without worrying about contaminating it with the dark ink or the black ink if it didn't dry good enough when you go to ink blend. I'm bringing out my Intri-Cut die cut machine to do my die cutting. So I started with these sentiments and they do have coordinating dies. So I am running that through the machine. I will put these off on the side, but they die cut out beautifully. I love the beveled edge that dies provide for the sentiments. I'm also going to die cut out the flower, holding everything down with Post-it tape. You may have seen there that I did also stamp out my sentiments because I just had a feeling that I was really going to like the crisp black stamped sentiment. So I did die cut those out as well. And then here is that hammered silver. I'm using the smaller of the 2 plates. That's from the Glorious Gatefolds. I'm going to die cut this out and it die cuts out beautifully. Once I ran this through, I flipped it over, I looked, everything die cut out perfect. So I will do 2 of these so I can have that for my card project. So once I poked out everything from the die using a pokey tool, here's a look at that close up and it looks amazing. I do highly recommend this. If you have that hammered silver in your stash, get that out and use it. I also die cut that frame or one of the Glorious Gatefolds out 2 more times from layering weight cardstock. And the reason I say layering weight is because I just found that it die cut a lot easier. I could have used the heavyweight and increased the tension, but this was just easier for me. I got great cuts with it. So I layered it together 2 times. I'm also layering together my floral image and my sentiment with some additional cardstock. So here is the design that I'm coming up with. Now I know these can probably be used for gatefold cards, interactive cards. I really don't do those. So This did take me a little bit to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with it. And I decided to just make it as a pretty, I don't want to say embellishment, but an element on my card front. So I am attaching these to an A2 size panel that's 4¼ by 5½, just using my liquid glue. I'm trying to make sure that I have even margins going around the edges, and then I have that space in the center. So that space, you could just stamp a sentiment there. I didn't think of that right away. What I decided to do was die cut out this panel from Layering Weight White cardstock. This is from the Master Layouts 2 set. I did also trim another piece of cardstock to the same size, so it is layered like the rest of my items. And then I'm taking some thin foam squares and I'm placing it in that gap right behind where that panel is going to go, just so I don't have any saggy centers. Then I'll go ahead, remove the backing. I added tape runner to the other part of my panels that attaches to the gatefold area or the gatefold die cuts. I'm adding liquid glue to the back of my floral, so that's going to go kind of in that grounding space. And then I have my sentiment where I added the thin foam squares on the edge and then liquid glue in the center. So that is me getting out of my comfort zone a little bit, playing with these glorious gatefolds, which I know you can create some amazing gatefold cards with them, but I also love that you can use them as just decorative elements and it makes such an elegant card. All of the supplies I used today will be linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. That is day 11, friends, of the 12 Days of Christmas box with Gina K Designs. I want to thank you all so much for all your wonderful comments that you've been leaving. We have one more day left, my friends, so I hope you will join me back here for that.